See if y'all can hear me. Awesome. All right. Let's get ready. Let's shit. Now I'm about to my bad. I'm about to share it to Alright, y'all, with some technical difficulties, we do apologize, but we gonna get this show on the results. You see it? You got it. All right, everybody. Welcome. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Wednesdays with Hayes. I'm your host, Shahara Hayes Pearson, coming to you each and every Wednesday night, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're covering the popular and unpopular topics affecting our community. Let's welcome our guest, Mr. Reggie Denton. And also, I have Donovan Kane here. Corinne Keys will be joining us shortly. He's on CP People Time. Nothing new. All right, so starting with Reggie, go ahead and give the viewers a little background of who you are, your relationship status, how many years you've been married, and what is it that you do.
Okay, I'm Reggie Denton, a.k.a. Cheap Text Films. Basically, I just film everything. Film, photography. And a lot of people ask me all the time, like, are you single? Because I do photography of models and all that. But I'm married, been married for 17 beautiful years. We got 6 kids. So, you know, I love my baby. Love her.
All right, and...
yeah, I've been married going on 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah, almost made it. Got 4 big head kids. I don't know, big heads. I do shoe customization, music, and most importantly, helping this young lady keep her head straight and all of her many obstacles and opportunities that she takes upon herself.
Did you tell them what you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Want to make sure. Okay, so the topic for today is going to be black men and marriage, and we're going to jump right into it because we got a lot of ladies. They always talk about, you know, how women are expressing about marriage, and, you know, we're more so the public ones in social media talking about relationships, and a lot of times they just want to hear from men. The single women want to hear from men. The, you know, engaged women want to hear from men. You got some married women that they man ain't acting right, so they want to hear from another man. Okay. So, of course, you know, what you being the veteran, the expert here, with what you say, 17 years in?
17 years.
Okay. Hi, Mrs. Denton, because I know you watching.
I'm trying to.
You trying to send it to her?
I'm trying to. I can't find it.
The tag I sent you in?
Yeah.
Try, for all those that know, we're under the W.O.E networks. Type in THE space W.O.E network. The W.O.E network, Women of Essence Radio and TV. That's where you'll be able to actually catch me live. Also at SIBN.net. And if you scroll all the way way down to the right-hand side, it says Women of Essence Television. So that's where you'll be able to catch me every Wednesday. It'll also be reposted in the Wednesdays with Hayes actual Facebook page as well. You found it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So, Mr. Denton, with that being said, all the technical issues going on, because there was a lie, somebody need this word that's coming out right now.
Okay.
How did you meet your wife? And what was it at that time that made you know? Or when was it that you knew that you wanted her to be Mrs. Denton?
We met in the club. But it was weird though, because I didn't want to be there, and I can tell that she didn't want to be there.
Okay.
She was up with her friends. She didn't want to be there. So, I gave her my number. She called me.
Oh, she called you?
Yeah, she called me. That's how I used to do back in the day. I don't want your number. Give it to me. I'm going to give you mine, so if you're interested, you call me.
Right.
But, so she called, and we just hit it off from day one. For 2 months straight, we seen each other every day.
Oh, wow.
And we was only together 2 months before we got married.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
17 years later, we here, baby. So
That part. Now, with that being said, 2 months. Normally people will say, you don't know nobody in 2 months. You playing with your life. It take 2, 3, 5, some people 18 years. I mean, if that's you, that's your business. But some people say, always, it's been said, men know when they know.
right.
So, what do you say when, just say, for example, you have girls, right? So if your daughter comes to you and she's dating a young man and she knows she's ready and she's like, Dad, listen, like, I think he the one, but here we are going on 2 years down the line and we still in the same place we was. What advice would you give your daughter or any woman that's kind of in this relationship and they may feel like they stuck or may not think that he may not know if she's the one?
After 2 years, I'm going to just be honest with you. That might not be the one, man. 2 years is a long time. I mean, like I said, it was 2 months for us, so I really can't speak on that. A big factor in it, though, is I was 19, she was 18.
Okay.
So we kind of raised each other. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't... I tell all the time, if I met you a year later and I didn't, got in my own little groove, then it might not have been. But
right.
Our first house was together. You know what I mean? So, and we had one child. She was pregnant with one child when we got married. So that baby helped us grow. We had to provide for the baby. But yeah, we raised each other. We was babies, man. So I really can't speak on like. If I was 30 years old and I met somebody, it might,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, no, you moving my toothbrush. Nah. You gotta get out. You know what I mean?
Right, because they quick to call it quits. Now, 17 years in as a vet, I know there's been some good times. There's been some I'm ready to leave times. What is it that sustains your marriage? What is it that at the end of the day, no matter how mad she done made you, and you like, what is it that keeps you to the point where you're like, nah, that's my wife?
She always been my rock, man. Like, she always had my back. Like I said, I'm a videographer. I did 3 years in the Army, and I can remember the day I came home and told her, yo, I'm getting out. You know what I mean? And at first she was kind of scared, but she was like, I'm going to ride with you. From that point on, we didn't been through some things because entrepreneur life is not easy. You know
Tell them again. It what?
It's not easy. You know what I mean? We didn't got evicted, credit crazy, you know what I mean? So she stuck with me through all of that. You know what I mean? She was my rock. I think that's one thing that people need to understand in marriage is if you want to make it work, it's sacrifices you have to make. She knew that this is what I wanted to do, so she stood behind me. She could have easily said, yo, we done got evicted, I'm out. You know what I mean?
You can't provide, because the new stuff you see on Facebook now with the whole, he don't pay all the bills. So, when she seen that, she was like, nah, we gonna do this.
Another key, she ain't really got that many friends. Because friends will, I promise you, man, they will tear your marriage up, man. You know, she got 2 sisters, but I learned early to get on their good side. You know what I mean? So,
and do y'all basically, like, you know, keep, if y'all having issues, it's to the point, like you said, with friends, because even with having a lot of friends, it's still also knowing who to have those kind of conversations with. You know what I mean? Single friends versus married friends. You know, with certain things you can't talk to everybody about. You know, you being a married man could have a better conversation with another married man than a single man because they can't relate. You know, even if you've been in a relationship for 10 years with the same woman, it still is not the same as being married.
right.
So for the rookie, you was a rookie the second time around. Well, you on the second marriage, so you kind of pre-then.
I'm on marriage number 2. So I'm well versed in what I'm doing right now.
Already.
Right. So for you, when it comes to marriage, what was the deciding factor that you knew that I was the one, and was it a sign, or like I asked him, you know, was there something in particular? What was it? Right, we live.
I honestly can't say it was like a specific or direct thing because, okay, for those who don't know, I met my wife off of Instagram, and I'm pretty sure that most of y'all that are close to us already know this story, but for the newcomers, let me try to break it down for you a little bit. As she likes to put it, I stalked her on Instagram.
You did.
For a couple weeks before I actually spoke, but it wasn't more so me stalking her. I'm just very methodical about my movement, so I wanted to watch her social media, see how she moved, see who's commenting, because, you know, sometimes you don't get what you need to know from likes and comments. You just have to watch how people move. So I watched her for a little while, and after a while I said, okay, I've liked a couple pictures. We've commented back and forth on a few pictures and whatnot. Today, I'm going to shoot my shot. Shoot my shot.
Go ahead, shoot.
Man, it was a Saturday afternoon. I was feeling like Kobe. But no, I told my cousin, you know, earlier on in the month that, you know, listen, like, I'm going to reach out to her today. And if she responds back, go ahead and take me off the market, bro, because I already know I'm getting this one. Like, that's how confident I was going into it. Like, you was not about to matumbo my shot. Like, I had the song playing out. So, you know, she responded back. You know, we kind of chit-chatted a little bit that day. Not too much of nothing. It was the following day when she FaceTimed me to make sure I was who I said I was.
You just went straight to the face.
But that's the thing. You can't DM somebody, and you know nowadays people got filters, people got fake pages. So I'm like, okay, it is 2016 at the time. If he is who we say he is, then we talked, we chatted a little bit Saturday, Sunday Father's Day, Happy Father's Day. Can you FaceTime? I needed to see. Go ahead.
So, she FaceTimed me to get all her verifications and everything, and this is what kind of did it for her and me. I called a bluff, because she sprained her ankle on Father's Day or something. She was like, hey, you want to take me to the hospital? I ain't got nothing going on. Sure, why not?
Pull up.
10 o'clock roll around. She gives me her sister's address, which is cool. I can understand that. I probably would have did the same thing if I was in her position. And once we got to the hospital and like actually got to sit and interact with each other, it was just like second nature. Like we just bounced out. Like the nurses and the doctors, they thought we had been together for years, you know, not knowing that was our first date. But that was the biggest thing for me, that I could actually sit down and like have a conversation with her. Right. You know, and it
no
wasn't
phones,
just
no service.
Yeah, that was the best part. Like, you get no service in the hospital. So we had to actually sit and talk and entertain each other. So, you know, after 4 hours of sitting there and talking with a person.
We were at Cape Fear, so y'all know how that way is.
Yeah. So we had plenty of time to kill. And I mean, at that point, it's like, it was really no escape for me because, you know, I drove her to the hospital, so it's like, okay, well, I can't just leave her here if I don't, you know, if I don't like something she says. But knowing me back at that point in time, if she would have said something I probably wouldn't have left at the hospital. I probably
You had me Ubering.
Yeah, I probably
Wasn't no Uber back then.
Right.
But yeah, it was just, I think it was more so just the conversation and the interaction that got me. And same thing with you and your wife. Like after that night at the hospital, we were together every day. Actually, I think we still have been together every day since then. Like we haven't taken really too many days off like that.
That's how you know it's real.
Yeah.
If somebody really ain't feeling you, they ain't gonna want to spend every day with you.
Exactly.
Right. And even then, you know, even if it's not every day, you know, they're not going to make excuses because
Right.
people make time for what they make time for.
Right.
You know, all of us are entrepreneurs sitting here. All of us have multiple streams of income. You know, we do multiple things, but yet our spouses are still priority number one. And even when, you know, it gets hectic for us, we have to remind ourselves sometimes, like, hey, you know, and I catch myself with, hey, you know, I need to put my phone down and not be inboxing invoices, you know, spend some time. And, you know, that's a reminder. And that's something that, you know, all of us have to keep in mind because they are other people. You know, they have emotions, they have feelings, they understand, but they still want you to be like, okay, baby, I got you. You know, even if it ain't for 10 minutes, y'all take a shower together, something.
Right.
Quality time is quality time, and it's very, very important. So we're going to jump back to you real fast before I shout out, you know, some of our sponsors. When it comes to 2018 dating, what advice do you give to young men who are dating currently and, you know, looking to get married? Like, if you could go back to your 18 or 19-year-old self, what are some things that you would have liked to have done first or, you know, might have changed when it came to how you took your approach to your marriage?
Well, I think the approach now is different. You know what I mean? Like you said, you jumped in your DMs, you FaceTime and all. We didn't have all that.
Right.
Like, I can remember the call that I got from her was on my landline in my barracks room. Like, I didn't even have a cell phone then. So I think it would be dope to reverse that. You know what I mean? Because nowadays, like, say you get mad at him, he get mad at you, they quick to go to Facebook and be like, you know, telling the whole world your business. I think we should reverse that and go back to, you know, just put the phone down and conversate, like you said. I mean, you don't have none of that nowadays.
Because the majority of the time, the issue or problems that people are having nowadays is just a minor miscommunication.
Right.
Just a minor miscommunication. Something that can be ironed out with a simple conversation, but you know, nowadays people get in their feelings and they feel like because I'm in my feelings, I'm gonna be in my feelings until I'm ready to come out of it.
Right.
And it shouldn't really work like that, especially if you know, if you're dealing with somebody that you actually care about. Because if that person decides, okay, well, you and your feelings, and I don't really feel like dealing with you and your feelings like that because when you get in your folks, you just can't be dealt with. I'm going about my business.
Right.
And then that person that goes on about their business finds somebody new, now you're bitter.
Right.
And it's like, well, I should have just, maybe I should have just talked to him. And then it turns into, well, why don't we just try to work it out? But you know, I got somebody now.
Right.
Well, I mean,
That
it ain't that serious, you know, it was us first, you know, and then it just turns into a whole nother situation. So,
I think the big thing, though, is back then, it was keep your friends out of our business. Don't go back and tell you. But now with Facebook, like, you putting everybody in your business.
The whole world and extras and shares, and it only take but one thing to go viral, and then it's like, you mad at your baby father, or, you know, your boyfriend, and
the
he...
DMs are blowing up, like, oh, he messing up, girl, what's up?
Right, or
You know what I mean?
you hashtag, or you putting subliminals out there, you know, doing subs, and then you wonder why people jumping in. And, you know, that's to me, that's a little disrespectful.
It is.
But we're going to get to the next topic. I do want to give some shout-outs. I have a Derek Pinkney. He has an awesome event coming up. It's actually to help veterans to the NC Hyperbaric Rehab. It's called Mission 22. It's paid for by the rehab here. When he said when he was confused in his life, a lot of things was going on at the time, and he was blessed to actually attend the program. So what they're doing is raising funds to be able to send other vets to be able to go that are eligible. So he became an ambassador, and he put on, it's called Push for Rehab. PUSH, the number 4 rehab. And it's, like I said, to send veterans that can benefit from it. You can donate 3 different ways. They have a link. I am going to post that on the Wednesdays with Hayes page. The 2 different ways that you can donate, and also as you're a spectator at the events that he's vending at, and you can follow the Facebook page, I have that up there as well, you can donate in person. Also, go ahead.
That's my homie, like.
That's your homie?
Yeah, like.
He reached out to me. He was like, I want to have time. I'm like, come on.
We work together. That's my ace, man. I seen his business grow. Like, I can remember he just had a couple of things that he was selling at work, and now he just got tables and tables of stuff.
And it's a blessing, because when you bless other people, you continue to get blessed. And a lot of times, you do stuff in private, and God will turn around and bless you.
Right.
I hit you, ain't tell nobody.
Right.
How about I got 2 Cash App requests, not even an hour later.
Wow.
I promise you. Like, and if you see how it was just real quick, but you know, I always tell people, you know, always keep your hands, you know, open. You give accordingly to your heart. Don't look for nothing in return,
right,
because you'll always be blessed, you know, with that. Also, anybody that needs bankruptcies removed, student loans, repossessions, foreclosures, evictions, tax liens, judgment, and any derogatory or negative items, my girl Dashanae Johnson at VIP Professional Services has got you down pat. The results are within the first 30 to 45 days, so you ain't got to do Lexington Law and do a whole $99 each month. She has a 90-day plan that she does with you. The price is a one-time payment. That's it. And you will see results within 30 to 45 days, guaranteed. To get started, y'all hit her up at 844-453-8115. She has a call center. She doing boss moves. Just turned. She'll be 33. No, I'm 32. She'll be 32 the end of this month, too.
Wow.
Has her own call center, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can visit VIP Professional Services LLC.com. They have full service packages, and she also does spousal packages as well. So if you know anybody that's looking to get their credit together, please holler at her. Also, for anybody that's in school, I know I just went back after 10 years. That's a headache amongst itself. Or, you know, you behind and, you know, or your kids are needing extra help, you can contact TJ Samuel Tutoring. She handles K through 12. They handle phonics, reading comp, writing, spelling, essay, structures, math, study skills, homework, and she also does elementary and intermediate Spanish. For my undergrad, she got you too. She got you in your math, your reading comp, statistics. She helped me a lot with mine because, Lord, I failed. I promise you I would have. Psychology, student skills. Y'all can reach her at 910-336-2293, or TJ Samuel is Samuel spelled the same way, SAMUEL, tutoring at gmail.com. Let's get back in this conversation. Now, with the number of kids you have, the number of businesses you have, and then you have a whole wife, which is numero uno, number 1. How do you, as a black man, as a father, as a husband, how do you prioritize in time management? Like, how do you do what you're able to do but still have a successful marriage?
My wife is an entrepreneur too. She does cakes. She just changed her business name to Peppy Cakes.
I was about to say shout her out, please, because she made me a cake for my birthday last year, strawberry shortcake, and that was to die for.
Yeah, so she an entrepreneur too, so she understands, but it's crazy with 2 businesses and 6 kids. We spend a lot of time together at home.
Ages?
Don't get me.
I told her not to ask.
They young the teenage, right?
Yes.
You do got a teenager.
Yeah, I got a 16-year-old.
See, boom,
16.
bow.
Yeah, so we spend a lot of time at home. She making the cakes at home. I'm editing videos at home, so spend a lot of time together. That's a good and a bad thing. But,
Right.
Yeah,
Look, he said because he know.
Right.
yeah,
He
like,
know.
we get on each other's nerves sometimes, but
Yes. Preach.
Yeah,
Preaching.
I don't have to worry about it. You know, everything is there for me. Like most of the time, I work is on the weekend, so throughout the week, we go on walks together in the morning, and she making her cakes. I'm in there editing. We not too far away.
Y'all getting that quality time in by any means.
I try to get somebody to go on walks with me, but they be acting lazy.
He want to go on walks at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. No sir, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. That's a little too early for me. Now afternoon, we good to go. We can walk in this hallway in the morning to get these kids out to go to school. But I'm not walking nobody outside to get ready. No, I'm not. I know.
You be surprised how it'll prepare you for your day though.
Right.
Try it. Just try it one day.
I'll compromise.
Yeah. It's all about
a little bit. I'll try it. I said I'll try it. I don't know if I'll stick with it.
Try it.
But I'll try it.
You'll fall in love with it, I promise you.
Communication.
What, like iPhone?
How do you, throughout your day-to-day, with all you do, you know, your shoe customization, your dad of 4, and your husband as well, and maintain the house, how do you juggle and do what you do successfully?
It's easy. If everybody just do what I ask them to do, we all good.
Just follow me.
Right.
See.
Right. That's my job to lead.
Right.
Then we have this whole at Corinne thing with the king mentality. We supposed to be getting away from
He
this.
didn't say king.
Yes, he did.
He didn't say
Yes, he
king.
did.
He said follow me.
He said you need to get out the mindset of a king. He never said you couldn't be a leader.
Right. The man supposed to be the leader.
Right. Communication is easy. You have to know your spouse. Like, for instance, when she's
Go ahead.
when she's like snapping a little bit, she ain't got an attitude, but she's just grumpy. I know she needs Popeyes. So I now have to stop what I'm doing, drive up to Skybo, get her some Popeye, 3-piece darkened black and tenders with the red beans and rice, or the French fries, depending upon her snappiness. Half lemonade, half sweet tea.
Right.
Bring that back home.
That's good that you know that. You know, a lot of relationships don't work because the guy ain't willing to go to Popeyes.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
no.
Or he don't pay attention to the little stuff.
Right.
Because it'll be something, I work from home. And it'll be something to where I done had a stress or something to stress me out, or, you know, I'm just in here having a headache. And next thing I know, he'll leave, and then I came back, I'm thinking he done got a sneaker order, and he'll slip the Popeye box on the desk, and I'll be like, ooh! Like, he knows I get excited about food, and it will change my whole day.
It just lets you know that he's thinking about you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, she think
Some
I'm
guys
paying
be too
attention.
selfish, man.
She think I don't be paying attention.
Hey, man, this
will.
gonna work, man. This gonna work. This gonna work.
You know?
Now, you were saying something about communication.
Communication, man. You gotta pay attention to the signs. You know what I mean? Like, my wife, we don't argue a lot. We used to, when we first got married. Oh,
Trying to get in that knowing.
but now my wife is in the church a lot, so I don't want to start no mess, but she's submissive. You know what I mean? Like, some women need to learn how to be submissive, depending on the man that you're dealing with. You know what I mean? Like,
Now, explain for those that's on here, because there's a couple on here. They comment, they inbox me. When you say submissive, please explain submissive, because somebody's version of submissive may not be your version. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people have put a bad complex around that word because of the way it's being used.
Right.
So when you say submissive, you mean what?
like you said, when I'm angry and I'm grumpy, don't butt heads with me. That's the wrong time. We, you know what I mean? That's the wrong time to fight. You gotta know that, like, okay, he angry, I'm just gonna step away. Or if, you know, like I said, the man is the person that leads, because I'm the one gonna get blamed if something go wrong in this household. So let me lead. You know what I mean? This independent woman thing will keep you single, I'm telling you. Ain't nobody trying to hear all that, man. I don't need no man. Well, leave then.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Being submissive don't always mean doing whatever I say, because like I said with him, you gotta, it's give and take. I wouldn't be the type of person to be like, yo, come wash my feet or nothing like that. You know what I mean?
Because you do have some. You on Facebook, you know.
You got
some else that they take that. You know, if I'm paying all the bills, then everything I say go, and what I say goes, not realizing that y'all this is a team.
Right.
You know, yeah, you may be paying all the bills, but when you get home, if you ain't got to cook, clean, monitor the kids, do homework, all the above, that's a job within itself. Because a lot of men don't understand till they get humble and they got to stay home with kids on a sick day to realize what a stay-at-home mom might actually go through on a day-to-day basis.
I had she threw me in the fire. She sprained her, she tore her meniscus in her foot. So like, I had to carry her to the bathroom. Like, she couldn't walk. Like,
I'm coming up on that.
Yeah. Oh man, listen. So I had to do everything that she was doing. Now I already knew that it was a hard job, but actually doing it, like getting up, cooking for the kids, getting them ready, like, yo. It made me
schedule. Cause I know she had a schedule for you.
Man, listen, I had to do everything. So it made me look at it differently. And I think that's one thing that guys need to understand is women have a hard job. But see, the thing is, a lot of women nowadays don't do that though. Like, my wife has friends that don't even cook for their kids or their husband, but won't, you know what I mean? Like, but they still, I'm an independent woman. But I don't get it. How, like, you not being a mother. You know what I mean? Everybody has their roles in a marriage, and some people don't want to live by that. They listen to their friends, girl, I wouldn't be cooking and cleaning for him, da-da-da-da. But she's single, though. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta take a step back and look like, that's why you ain't got no man, girl.
Oh, you want my hand?
Yeah.
No, I got like, look, he over here preaching.
Right, look, cause you see, I'm like,
the gospel right now.
Right, cause it's the day. He's like, I don't know what I would be. And I'm like, you gonna be comfortable because when you've been married 17 years, I mean, you don't have nothing but knowledge, like nothing. I'm gonna say the next question for you. I'm gonna holler at our sponsors real fast. Good impressions. Do you know, Mike? I think that's his name. Mike Good. Good Impressions Vinyl Studio, owner Michael Good, located in the Boost Mobile in Spring Lake at 243 Skyland Plaza. $20 for the shirts, $10 for 100. You can call or text him at 910-751-3316. You can also look them up on Facebook. If you need emergency printing after hours, it's $45 a shirt. So if you need something right then and there, he still got you. Hey, you might need it though. Also, we got, if you're looking to have your lace look like it grew straight out of your scalp, I can vouch for her because she done laid mine quite a few times. Neat and professional braids and more. Please check out Faith Brown. And she actually has a company. She got a little car with her logo wrapped around and everything now. She travels. I mean, people book her to come out Georgia, and she's always traveling. So definitely holler at her. It's Inner Faith Hair, INNER. Faith is all one word. And then Hair Company on the business page. You can follow her Instagram at _Faith, FAYTH_in me. Next, we got my homegirl, Aroma, at Mia Moore Clothing and Accessories. If you're looking to style from the smallest of the waist to the curviest queens on the planet, needing the latest accessories and shoes and style, check out Mia Moore Clothing, located at 5439 Gatkin Road in Fayetteville, North Carolina. You can holler at them at 910-759-8497. They're Mia Moore Clothing and Accessories. That's their website, Facebook, and Instagram. Lastly, got a job and you're tired of walking. Don't delay, drive today. My homeboy Don got you down packed. Zoom In Auto Sales, located at 4800 Gatkin Road, Fayetteville, North Carolina. You can check them out on Facebook as well. Let's jump back into this here. Now, with all that being said, we done covered what communication, we done covered our history and all that. With society the way it is today, you know, you guys being African American males, y'all don't have a good rep. You know, it's always something going on. You know, y'all labeled as thugs, all the above, you know, with that. Where do you see this going with this generation? Because, you know, it's like all of a sudden it's kind of been a turn. You know, when I was in school, in high school, you know, it was the baggy. You know, now some men that got girlfriends or wives, they pants, if you did their laundry, you might not know who pants is what.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now they got the whole little pom pom shorts for men. I done seen that too, above the knees. Right, the little rompers. So, you know, you have sons as well, correct?
I got one son.
You got one son.
Oh, you got 5 girls?
4, wait, yeah, 5 girls and 1 boy.
Bless you.
Ooh, at least he got one out the crew, right?
Bless you.
With
Father, I'm gonna pray for you tonight.
Please do. That 16-year-old is like,
so he's the oldest?
No, he's the second to the youngest.
Oh, you got a 16-year-old girl. Yeah.
I can't tell you. When they was girls, when they're young, they easy.
Yeah.
Man, when they get older,
take them out, get them candy, he spend a little money, be good. Now they pricey.
no.
So with you also being a father of a black male, when it comes to your household, you know, what is it that you're teaching him growing up that either you may not have had in your own home or something that you got from, whether it's a father, uncle, or a figure that you want to make sure, because, you know, as parents, we understand, or we need to understand, that we are raising someone else's wife or husband. You know, it's not just our child. They're our child for a little while, but they are eventually going to be, hopefully, you know, they find, you know, love and everything else, someone's wife and someone's husband. You know, what are you, from the father aspect, teaching your son in reference to being a man and a husband? And also with that same answer goes for, what are you showing them, or what do you feel like, you know, you want to portray to them when it comes to them seeking a husband?
Okay. Well, I was raised, I had a stepdaddy and a real daddy.
Okay.
And
Me too, I got 2 stepdaddies.
yeah, so I had 2 daddies, so the main thing I'm teaching my son is to be a manly man. You know what I mean? Like, he's the second to the youngest, so I always make sure that I teach him, open the door for women. Don't hit the girls back if they hit you. And you know, it's hard for him to understand, but that's my job to teach him. Like, it's rough though, man, with all the stuff that's on TV.
Right.
Sometimes we be watching TV, and he old enough now where he understand why. Like, if he sees something crazy on TV, like especially like we watching Empire or something, he like, yo, what's that? Listen.
You said Empire, yes.
Listen,
Yes.
we don't do that. I mean, I don't knock it, but that's just not how I'm raising my son. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I teach him to be a manly man. We teaching them sports, teaching even the girls how to change tires, and you know how to protect themselves, like
To be self-sufficient.
Yeah. I don't want them to be. I'm that independent woman, but you know, I do want them to know how to take care of themselves. Because
it is a difference, and a lot of times, you know, when people say I'm an independent woman, you know, you can be self-sufficient. You don't have to broadcast it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I guess that's where that negative, you know, nature comes from, where it's like, I'm so independent, I don't need a man.
Right.
But I'm looking for a man. I want a man. I want a man in my bed. So it's like, you know, gotta be mindful for those that are single, that are watching, what you're posting and how you're carrying yourself, because, you know, you can come off, as the fellas are saying, as too independent, and, you know, that don't mean you can't pay your own bills and car note and take yourself out, but that also don't mean you don't allow a man to do that for you as well. You know, you can be sufficient and not have to broadcast that the way you do. So with the girls, I love that, you know, I need to learn myself. Because, you know, I'm spoiled now, so, you know, I don't have to go get oil changes like I was doing, and changing tires, and, you know, all this stuff. You know, I worry him about it, and I know he gonna do it. To me, I was fascinated. He'll tell you, you know, he went to, you changed the brakes on the car? And I was just like this, like, because I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey, so, you know, it ain't really too much space to be doing no automotive outside like that. We hardly got parking spaces. Right. So, you know, and my dad, my first dad, because I have a bio, I have a first dad, and I have a second dad. My first dad, which is who raised me since I was 2, you know, he was always working. You know, his fatherhood was in a financial aspect. And I get it, because depending on how you grow up, it's a little different for everybody. And, you know, if you grow up and you don't have a man in the house, and you see your mom struggling, when you have your own wife and kids, you like, okay, I want to work, you know, make sure my kids have. So he was there really, you know, financially. And, you know, he made sure he was an awesome provider, and made sure we never went without. And, you know, with that, though, it's some things I didn't really get to see because he wasn't really there on an emotional level.
Right.
And he wasn't there a lot physically because of the fact that he worked 16 to 24-hour shifts at the county. Right. You know, because he worked at the jail. So,
my dad did too.
Oh, yours too?
Yeah.
So, you know, I love the fact that you're taking that time. Because quality time, I tell people all the time, you can buy kids any and everything. But the memories that I remember as a kid, and a lot of kids, if you ask and you go back and say, what's your memory of your parents? It's always going to be either a trip y'all took or something they might have did with you and that quality time. And that's something they can always look back at where if they on the side of the road,
right.
they ain't got to be like, okay, I got to call my father or, you know, who around or got to flag somebody down. They could jimmy it up and do it themselves. So I salute you for that because I definitely need to learn myself. You want to teach me how to change a tire? I got to cut my nails? Oh, okay. So I got to cut my nails.
That's one thing. That's one thing. One of my wife's friends, her husband didn't know how to change a tire. And like for me, it was second nature because my steppops was a mechanic. So I joined the Army as a mechanic trying to be like Pops.
Gotcha.
So that's just something that I grew up with. But a lot of people don't grow up learning how to change tires. Like me and Pops worked on a lot of cars together. You know, that, like you said, that's my good memories that I have growing up. Not only memories, but life lessons. Like if something go wrong, I know what to do because Pops taught me. You know what I mean?
How old is your friend that can't change a tire?
I don't know.
Don't put him on blast like that.
I ain't gonna put him on blast, but I had to go over there and change a tire, and I'm like, bro, you don't know that. You know what I mean? But he just wasn't raised to.
Right.
I mean, I just look at it from the aspect of, you know, after a certain age, I feel like it's not really the child or the man's fault.
Or the upbringing.
Yeah,
what
because,
they may not have had.
And I don't want to place this blame directly on them, but I know when I was growing up and in the school system, we had shop class, you know, and stuff like that, that taught you those simple things, you know, just to help you to be able to survive a minuscule amount. Like if you're on the side of the road, they didn't have AAA and all that stuff back then, you know, so now it's like, okay, well now we got AAA and we got all these insurance aids that we can, you know, use. Now we have to take the power out of their hands to be able to do it themselves, so they have to rely on us. And I think that's like one of the big things of, you know what I'm saying, why I'm thankful for my pops and why he taught me some of the stuff that he taught me. But at the same token, I do have to put a little bit of blame on the men nowadays because I feel like with the day and age that we're in, with this internet age, everything that you want to know is online.
You learn how to change brakes on YouTube.
It's 5, 10, 15 minutes to watch a video. It'll give you the breakdown of how to do everything. So I feel like I almost feel like if you don't know how to do it, it's almost like you don't want to know how to do it.
You don't want to do it.
You know, and that's my whole thing with the boys. Like I don't want to put them under the cars and stuff like that just yet, just because they're so young. But it's going to be a gradual phase because I want them to be to the point where, like, you shouldn't have to pay somebody to do something that you can do yourself. Right. Now, you know, unless you just don't have the time and you have the money to do it. Right. You know, but if you're in a financial bind or something like that, because especially in your 20s, you're gonna have multiple financial binds. You know, so I want them to be able to rely on themselves. If your car's messing up, you should know. All right, well, when's the last time I changed the oil? Right. What's going on with the transmission? Like the car's dragging a little bit when I'm switching gears. You know, just simple stuff. You know, the little hazard light is on. I need to put some air in my tire. Right. You know, just simple stuff like that. And you know, just like what you were saying earlier, with, you know, teaching your son to open the door for ladies and this, that, and the fourth, because that not only speaks to him, but it also speaks to our daughter. Like, this is the type of man that you should be looking for.
You're setting the bar in the precedence.
I seen my daughter's boyfriend. They walk home from school together.
The 16-year-old.
Yeah.
You have a boyfriend.
She's 16. You know, at some
so
point
that was
she
the
got
approved age. Was that the okay age? Because you know.
I just think that she was ready. I remember what I was doing at 16. So yeah, I mean, they want to be boyfriend and girlfriend. Let them do it. You know what I mean? I just want to be able to keep an eye on them.
Right.
but I caught him walking her home from school, but he was like 10 feet in front of her. I'm like, hurry up, hit the brakes. Hold on, you ain't finna, my daughter ain't following behind you like no puppy dog.
Right.
Yeah, and I had to tell her that too, like, don't let him treat you like that.
Right.
He might not know what he's doing, but
Right.
don't let nobody disrespect you.
Because he might not have had that, you know, someone to show him.
Right.
And that's why, you know, I always tell, especially when I speak to males or when I'm having conversations, you know, even if there is no father figure in the home, there's a uncle, there's a brother, there's somebody, there's a male somewhere around this child that I feel like when it comes to the African American community, our black men have to step up more and be held accountable, because, you know, you can't, you know, you have your own children, but just say you have a sibling and, you know, the father isn't there, and you see your nephew, I feel like that's your responsibility. You know what I mean? That's not just your family, but this is another black child. We already know the depths and the devils that's waiting outside for our kids. And, you know, these boys, a lot of them are confused. They want guidance. They want a man to take them underneath their wing and show them what it is that they need to show them and grow up, and they can reach back and then help somebody else. So with that, because I did hear earlier you say with your dad, and you called your stepfather your dad. And I am the same way. Co-parenting. Though you are not a co-parent, because, you know, all of, you know, y'all have all y'all kids together, but growing up in that household, you know, in that environment, how was the relationship co-parenting wise between, you know, your bio dad and your stepdad?
I mean, I can't remember any time that I can remember them like actually sitting down having a good old conversation. Like they wasn't the best of friends, but
it was a respect.
Right. Yeah. And they both knew that they had to raise me in this crazy world. So, but like I was about to say, my uncle, Tim Denton, my uncle, he taught me a lot of stuff that my two dads didn't teach me. Because in my mind, you know, you don't want to go to Pops about certain things, so it's certain things that Unc taught me that.
You don't want to get punished. So
you know what I mean? Like,
to ask somebody else.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I can remember having a condom in my glove compartment. I was like 17 and Pops flipped out. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm using the condom.
That's
what
what you're supposed to do.
You know what I mean?
I think I'm in the right now.
But Unc the one told me to put it there. You know what I mean? So
right, so you have it at all times. Right,
yeah.
gotcha.
So Unc taught me how to, you know, put a little pimp in my walk, all that. You know what I mean? Like, so I think it's important to have if you somebody's uncle to like be a part of their life, because they don't want to go to mom about certain things. They might not want to go to Pops about certain things, but Unc gonna teach you what it is. You know what I mean?
Right, and don't just be there for the discipline aspect. You know, where it's like, oh, you know, Ray acting up, come get him, and you just hem him up and go about his business, because that's not helping either. You know what I mean? Is where you got to be really involved. Like, it's a lot of lost boys out here that just need somebody. And, you know, I'm glad that, you know, you have your dad, because your biological father was active as well in your life. Yeah. So,
well, my stepdad was in the Coast Guard, so he moved a lot. But, you know, we already kept touch, and when I used to spend the summers with him in Houston, so, yeah, he was always a part of my life. He wasn't the type of Pops to give up on me, you know what I mean? He made sure he was active in my life. He taught me a lot of things, too. Early on, Pops was a little pimp, so, you know what I mean? He used to school me on certain things about checking your traps, and, you know what I mean? These kids don't know.
He said checking the trap? What's that?
Like,
fishing or something?
Nah, it's kind of like fishing.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
listen, I'm from Jersey. I don't know nothing about no trap.
You know, you got certain spots where women be at. You know what I mean?
Oh,
you gotta go through and swing
traps.
through with me, like,
them
what's going on? You know what I mean? So, Pop taught me little things like that. But yeah, man, having two Pops was amazing. I couldn't imagine life without having a father figure. So I can't relate to that.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for some of the boys who don't have it, because like they're missing out on, you know, certain things that they're going to need later on in life, and it's stuff that they're going to have to more than likely figure it out on their own.
Right.
And we always know in that case, like, you're going to fall on your face a couple times, you know, trying to figure it out on your own. So it sucks in that aspect. But once they get it though, they're gonna be good to go. You just hope it doesn't take them forever.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing too is like, what kind of man are you gonna be? Are you gonna be not around for your kids like your pop wouldn't for you, or you gonna be around? And that's kind of like I said, I had both of my pops, but they taught me to stick with my wife. So even when things go wrong, I was taught to never quit. I never quit on nothing. So, except my job.
Well, you didn't quit. You moved on to another.
Right. I just transitioned.
Right. Transitioning.
But yeah, they taught me to never quit. So that stuck with me. If you don't have nobody, like you see your pops, he dipped out the first chance he got, then 9 times out of 10, you already got that mentality like, man, I ain't gonna stick with my baby mama or whatever. You know what I mean? So I don't think people realize how much kids watch them growing up.
Yes. Right. And then glad you said that, because when y'all were talking about like teaching boys, and you said you corrected your daughter's boyfriend, like, because we've been together, it'll be 2 years on the 18th, the 19th of June, and just seeing how him being here, where my sons, I was worried because, I've been with their father 17 years, so, that's kind of really all they know. And then here it is, this man comes in, and it's like, then we're merging kids, because, our oldest daughter is 15, and then, I have my children, the 12, 11, and 5, he'll be 6, and it got to a point where I'm like, I don't know. The boys, most I was concerned because they're very protective over me.
What's your oldest son?
My oldest son is, he'll be 11.
Okay.
And he's very protective over me. So, that was my baby. He was a sick baby when he was born, so he was with me a lot. And that's my my heart. And well, all of them on my heart, but he's just like, with him, when he come to me, I'm sick, something wrong, he knows, he'll be like, where my mother at? He come in the door, if I'm not at my desk, when he come in, it's like, where my mom at? She okay? If I'm at the hospital, what the doctor say? That's why he calling my daddy. But I would watch him interact with them, or I would watch them to where I didn't know how much they were watching until they started fighting to get my door, where, this was something he did, and then it got to a point where my oldest son was like, nah, Mr. Dean, I got it, or my young son would jump out the car, my baby boy, and, if my oldest son may have forgotten to slip his mind real fast, the youngest one like, I got you, mommy. And, just in that nature, just something so small that happens where, and I'm guilty. I still touch the door from time to time. He get on me about it. We actually argued about it. Like the first, I was like, what's the big deal? I opened my door. That was me.
Right.
I was the independent. I had that mind state. And I'm like, it's not that serious. But for him, it's a respect factor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
he was raised right.
Right. So I'll sit back now and I'll be in a car, and I had to cross my arms, have to open the door, or I get to the door and I stand there and wait for him to open it. And I'm still learning. Even in my 2 years, I'm still learning. I fall off.
Treated like that?
No, that was new. That was something very new.
And that's something that I don't ever want my daughters to experience. Like, I got a lot of female friends, and like we'll be riding somewhere out of town to go film something.
Right.
And so you got to get gas. My thing is the gas. Like, man, I don't care if I'm in the car. You ain't pumping no gas, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's just something that some men are not taught.
When the last time your hand touched the gas nozzle?
Unless I'm going to an event and I'm driving myself, I don't. And he's learned that I drive the car to eat, so he'll make sure his gas kept in there, because if not, I'll be on the side of the highway. Yeah. Let's go to some of these comments. So we have, hold on, it was the one earlier. I think that was to you, Kimberly Robinson.
Oh, that's my sister.
Yeah, she was like, hey brother, proud of you, and I love you and my sister-in-law. Shout out to everybody tuned in.
This is my baby sister. She a doctor.
Oh, hey, doctor.
Yeah. She was salutatorian.
Woo!
That's my baby there.
Oh, right now.
She can go ahead and give you that recommendation.
Yeah, since I need a recommendation.
Right, he need a chiropractor. Yeah. So Brittany Garcia said, she said it has to go both ways because sometimes women expect a man to know the signs, but women need to also know the signs and be thoughtful of what their husbands need. And I totally agree with that because you have some women that are so, prime example, Valentine's Day. Now I got it bad because that's his birthday as well.
Okay.
Okay? So it's not fair, you know, but the type of person I've always been, I like to give, I like to surprise people, I like to, you know, see him smile, you know, if it's sneakers, some paint, whatever the case may be, that's how I am. So I see a lot of women on Valentine's Day where they're posting things that they got, and then when somebody asks them, oh, well, what you get your husband? It's like, oh, nothing, or he'll get it later. Yeah. FYI, on Valentine's Day and any other holiday, birthday, Christmas, and this is coming from a female, the pom-pom is not a gift.
Please say that again.
Okay? It is not a part of the gift. Now, it is not the gift. It can be a part of the gift.
A part of the gift.
But it's not the gift. You know, especially when you married, you know, it can be little things. I know for y'all, a lot of times, especially for men, y'all easier to please. It's not hard. You know, he like new drawers and socks, and, you know, he smokes cigars or Black & Milds, a pack of cigarettes. You know, put you a little basket together. Take $50, get, you know, if you on a budget, that's fine. There's free things you could do. He come home, you cook, do a picnic on the floor, candlelight, play the music, give him a massage, rub his feet. Them type of things, you know, whatever it is your husband like. But I see a lot where women expect for men to automatically know what's going on with us. And y'all be like, all right, she all right. She'll be all right. Am I lying?
Yeah, you're right.
You got to pay attention.
You gotta
both
pay attention
ways.
to the signs. Like, on Valentine's days, you know, my wife made cakes and all that kind of stuff.
She's booked.
So she booked all the time. So I have to, like, sneak out the house to go get an edible arrangement or whatever whatever I'm doing, because she need the car to go drop this off or drop that off. You gotta, what it's all about is just showing them that you care, man. It ain't even about the
price of what you buying, because all that.
Well, I ain't gonna say that, because some women, they want the world. Like, they want new diamonds and all. I mean, you gotta.
They want an upgrade of a ring every year.
Like, and I think that's unfair. You know what I mean?
I think it's useless.
It is.
Like, it's a waste.
To me,
it's a waste of money. And that's just me. You know what I'm saying?
And then wonder why we can't make the rent next month, but you got.
Right, we say hey, who's the noodles? But that ring is fine.
Not even that, but you got a new ring, but
credit score 410.
We could have went somewhere.
Right.
We could took a trip.
Right.
You know, we could have went and made another memory together for me and you, or just not even went all out for Valentine's or your birthday or whatever and said, you know what, we gonna sacrifice a little this year and we gonna do a family trip. You know? Just something else besides the norm. You know? But I think for a lot of people, it's what you can show the world, like, oh,
I got this.
Me,
right.
You know, so
that's terrible, man.
Yeah.
It's sad, but they loving it because it's like, oh, it's gonna go viral because he done brought me 9 pair of shoes and 9 shirts.
Who's in a relationship with me and Facebook?
Right. That's why I tell people all the time, you know, stop worshiping them hashtag relationship goals. Like, even when we got married and our wedding video went viral, you know, and I had people inboxing me like, oh, y'all are goals, and I'm like, baby, no. Like, create your own relationship goals, because we normal people. You know what I mean? I don't know how it went viral. It is what it is. But, you know, we...
in the face last night.
Right, like, you know, we fawn around each other, use the bathroom when we in there. Like, this is not nothing, ain't nothing magical about it besides the fact that we both said we've been married before, we're not going down that road again. We know what we wanted, because, you know, with so much backlash of, you know, oh, y'all got married a year after y'all met, you know, how can you know somebody, or you got this person around your kids, you don't know them. And I'm like, you can know somebody for 15, 14, 11, 7 years, and still don't know that person because you've been getting the presentation of who that is in your marriage and not who it really is. So, you know, with that, I'm chill. Like, I'm cool with mine. And just like with yours, and I know we gonna make 17 plus 90 and and all the above, because we ain't got no choice. He's not going nowhere.
All right.
At all.
That's what's up.
Brittany said, women have to feel safe enough to be submissive. A woman needs to feel safe that you're going to be financially responsible, that you're going to be organized, that you're going to be a protector, that you're going to be loyal, just to name a few. If a woman doesn't feel safe enough to let you handle that, she can't be submissive, in my opinion.
But that goes back to knowing who you marry. You know what I mean? You just pay attention to the signs. Nowadays, it's easy. Just watch the social media. You know what I mean? They smoking weed and everything on social media. So if you got a weed habit, it's gonna come out. You know what I mean? Just watch what he posting.
A good portion of the money is going to that.
Right. It might look good on Facebook, but like you got to think about that. Like, man, the rent might not get paid if you get a whole bunch of weed. You know, so.
Or what they do, like when they first meet, they smoking weed together.
Yeah.
And then she get tired of it.
Yeah.
But this his habit.
Yeah. He ain't gonna give it up.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. He'll give you up before he get that up. You know?
Right.
So yeah.
Pay attention to the signs, man. And if you don't like something, then back away from the relationship. I mean, don't be.
Or talk to him about it. Like, prime example, he knows I grew up in the house with smokers. My first dad is a chain smoker. My mother was a chain smoker. I'm talking about, it was to the point he smoked so much, Newport used to send him little T-shirts and stuff like that. You know, he would rip off the side of the box and send it in, and they send the T-shirts and water bottles. That's how bad he smoked. So I cannot stand cigarettes. Like, I hate it. I hate the smell. It irritates me. My nose is very sensitive. So, you know, when we started talking, he smoked cigarettes. And I told him, you know, how I felt about it. You know, and it's not, let me rewind. Don't try to change an individual that you're with. Right. Okay? I told him what my concern was. I let him know, like, listen, you know, when he decided to let his apartment go and we moved in and merged houses, I said, okay, listen, I don't smoke in my house. You know, I don't like smoke. It gives me a headache, to be naturally honest, when I'm around it or I smell it. And, you know, he was considerate enough that even when he would smoke, you know, he'd come in, he'd brush his teeth, or he'll change his shirt, wash his hands, things of that nature. But I prayed about that thing hard, you hear me? I was like, God, take the taste out of his mouth. And there's a couple times he was like, oh, I'm going to quit. And I'm like, all right, the last 5 days. And I step outside, is that the cigarette? And I'm like, and wouldn't say nothing else. I know. You know, and I ain't, oh, you said you was gonna. Yeah. And I did that the first couple of times, and I had to realize, like, then a couple, you know, days later, he would go back to smoking. Or it would be a stressor or something would go on, and he would go back to smoking. I prayed, I'm telling you right, I prayed about that thing so hard. I was like, God, take the taste of cigarettes out his mouth completely. Right. And sure enough, he's been, he has stopped smoking for almost 6 months now. Probably 6 months. 5 months. Cold turkey.
That's communication.
Cold turkey.
Whatever she prayed for work is I can't stand the smell of it.
He don't like the smell of it.
Once you quit, you like, oh, I used to smell like that?
Yeah.
Like, I'll be out, like, I have to make sure. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there's been times I went back and smoked cigarette just to see, like, if that old feeling was there. It's not
He
there.
like, I'm nauseous. Like, he like, look, I'm like.
It's not there. I'll get some greenery before I go back to the tobacco.
Because he turned around, he was like, come outside me while I smoke a cigarette. Sir, it is cold outside. I'm anemic. No, I'm not going outside. He was like, you don't want to spend no time. Sir, we can spend time somewhere else. I'm not sitting out here to smoke with you. Because also, like, my mom, she used to smoke, and my second dad didn't. And so when he ended up started having breathing problems and then went to the doctors, and the doctors was like, you need to stop smoking. He was like, I don't smoke. But the secondhand smoke was causing him to have respiratory issues. And I'm like, I already got asthma. I'm not trying to be up in cake death, but I don't got to be. So I prayed about that thing hard. So somebody else said, I've honestly had more men say it's sexy when a woman is driven and is motivated and can handle her own. I think if men feel insecure with what they can offer at the time is why they may feel a woman is too independent. Some men base it off that and don't give relationship a chance. When a woman has her own and knows she can do it on her own, she can do her own thing. She wants more to love. He talking about he outside. Where's Corinne at, y'all? Sorry. So go get him, please.
I'm sorry, be walking through the line.
So then she says, can do it on her own thing. She wants more is love, loyalty, and security. With all those comes safety, and in return, you have a woman that you can trust in and be submissive to her man.
Well, I think
He's not at our house. I don't know where he went. I don't know.
being driven is that is a sexy trait. Like that's cool, but because you driven and you successful don't mean that you have to bash the person you trying to be with. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
You make them feel that way. If you successful and I mean it's cool, like take care of them or whatever you want to do, but you don't have to have that whole I don't need you mentality. Because I'm telling you, man, a lot of men ain't rocking with that.
So with that, I feel what she's saying to a certain extent. You do have some men, but you also have to watch who you're dating.
Right.
And then you also, like you said earlier, have to be mindful of who you're married to.
Right.
Like I know for a fact, when it comes to certain things like household bills, like he'll give me the money, but I'm the one distributing and okay, let me put it in the account and pay such and such and such. I got the bill book with the accounts and the logins. So I'm not going to be looking for him, you know, to be like, oh, wait a minute, you know, here, well, just do all this. Because I know overnight you're not going to do it.
Right.
And that's, again, knowing, you know, your spouse. Like you said, she was down and you had to run the errands.
Right.
So though, yes, you know her day to day, now it's, okay, no, now this is real raw and uncut. I'm having to take this leeway and it gives you an extra, you know, appreciation for the things that she does. But you have to know who you're in the relationship, you know, talk.
Right.
Because if something's not comfortable, you're not right with something, you're weak in something where your spouse may be stronger,
Right.
it's okay to say that.
Right.
And from a man's perspective, why do you feel it's so hard for men to open up? One, to even other men or even to the person that they're married to.
Open up with what?
Whether it like a weakness that they may have.
It all goes back to who you with though. Like I feel comfortable telling my wife my weaknesses because she's that type of woman. But if you got a strong-minded woman and then she gonna bash you for your weaknesses, of course you're not gonna feel comfortable.
Or throw it in your face when y'all get into an argument.
Oh, that's
don't do that.
That's gonna happen. You know what I mean? You can already. She gonna throw it in your face. So, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, just get your stuff together, man. Get your stuff together.
What did I miss?
Oh, we were talking about, you know, knowing your significant other and when it comes to, like, their weaknesses and your strengths. And I was, you know, explaining how, like, you know, you'll give me the money for the bill, but, you know, I'm the one that I go in there, put it in their accounts, handle all that, like.
Listen here, men and women. Understand what you are good at and accept what you are good at and what you are bad at and don't overstep your bounds.
Right.
If your wife is good at paying the bills, let her pay the bills. Now, that does not mean that you get to be naive and not learn the process because if God forbid something ever happens to her and you have to pick up the slack, you are able to do it. Huh?
They laughed at you.
I'm just saying, you must know how to do these things. Although it may not be a necessity for you to do it right now, you still need to know. Just like women, if you don't know how to change a tire or change some oil or change a windshield wiper, there's nothing wrong with learning.
Right.
That's actually a space for you and your man to spend time. So don't be afraid to take advantage of those type of things. Because please believe, this one, she gonna get her mechanic certification before this year's over with. Please believe, like, she gonna be up under that car. She was so fascinated watching me change transmission fluid, like, it was bothering me. Like, I want you to move because I'm getting transmission fluid spilled all over me. She's like, let me Snapchat it. I don't want to be on Snapchat.
Right. I mean, for me, because, you know, and it's not to downplay anyone that I've dated previously, but because of the relationships I have come from, you know, and being the main one that I have to do, you know, if something needs to be done, I'm the one that got to do it. So, you know, coming from that to somebody saying, I got you, and mean I got you, and act on that, that was something that I had to transition to let, you know, to take my hands off things. Because a lot of women be like, oh, you know, I can't let him. Like, we had an argument about him paying the rent. Because he was like, I'm moving in, I'm going to take care of the rent, and, you know, these bills, you handle these bills. And I'm like, you're not about to pay my whole rent. Cause so you could, you know what I mean? Like, even though the lease is in my name, I'm like, you're not about to pay my whole rent, so you could be like, you taking care of me. Right. That was my mind state. Right. And I had to get out of that mind state. And I mean, we argued about that. I was like, half. He was like, no. Right. I'm like, no, why you just can't pay half? We'll just half up everything and keep it moving. Right. And he's like, I'm not doing it. He said, I said, I'm going to pay the rent, and these certain utilities, you'll take the other part. And I had to say, okay. All right. You know, it got to a point where I had to realize, like I said, it's okay. You know, it's not going to kill me. It's not going to make me less of a woman. You know, it's not going to make me less independent. I still have my independency, you know, where I go with my girlfriends. I have my self-care. I have my me time. Then I have his time, family time. You know, and you got to find space for that, you know, with all that we do. So the question was, what keeps the unity in your marriage? And we're going to end it with that.
The unity in my marriage. You have to be attracted to your wife, man. Oh, boy. At all times, you know what I mean? Like,
even when she gained a little bit of weight after such and such many kids.
To me, my wife is the funnest thing on the planet. And I see models all day, every day, but my wife is the only one that can push them buttons.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So I think that's something that I need to communicate with her is like, because she don't understand that. Like, she's like, I don't want you to see me like this, but yo, you the baddest thing on the planet. You need to realize that. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, man. When you really with somebody that you love, all that don't matter. You know what I mean?
What keeps somebody? Sherry said, yes, that. I love that. What keeps the unity in your marriage? He's so aggravating.
What keeps the unity in our marriage? Oh, man.
I pray a lot.
Yeah, I think that's a big discrepancy between us because I believe in God, I believe there's a higher power, so on and so forth. But it's like, he'll talk to her before he'll talk to me. Right. So it's like if I want something from him, I gotta tell her so she can tell him. And if he feels like I need it, then he'll bless me with it.
And that's you put that a good way. Because a lot of me and my friends are the same way. Like my wife is in the church.
Yeah.
4 or 5 times a week.
Oh,
but yeah, I don't go at all. You know what I mean? But she lets me be me. She don't try to force me to go to church.
Because you have some that'll be like, oh, your husband needs to join you, and why he ain't, y'all not equally yoked, and not realizing, letting you be you. One day you may say, you know, or you may find a church home that is comfortable. Because a lot of times, some of us have come from church hurt. You know, some of us, we have so many questions, and because the questions are not being answered, and they're just saying, oh, well, because God said no. Like, you know, I need, break this down to me, let me understand.
I'll be that
teach me.
Church, like, hey, that ain't gonna work for me, bro.
Right.
Like,
you know what I mean? Don't just tell me, thus says the Lord, and that's it.
Right.
So, yeah, so you have some where, you know, you'll have some churches that'll be like, well, you know, if your husband need to join, and they'll badger the wives about their husbands not joining them. And, you know, I understand they say sanctified wife makes sanctified husband and vice versa. And sometimes, you know, just praying and covering the household. And, you know, sometimes he'll wake up and he'll look at me and be like, well, what are you doing? And not realize that I'm praying over him. Right. You know, I'm praying over his mind. I'm praying over his body. You know, the things that we've had to go through court and all types of stuff, you know, not realizing y'all internalize a lot of things. So, you know, when we see that, I got to go in my prayer closet. You know, I may not be in my closet because the closet can't fit me in it. But, you know, I got to go in my place and talk to him and say, you know, I understand, you know, he has to go through what he has to go through to get on the other side. You know, I'm just covering him in the process that he don't lose his mind. Right. You know, because with y'all taking so much in, a lot of times y'all don't have an outlet.
Right.
Besides us.
Right.
And, you know, sometimes you need another, you know, male that's married and can understand and go through, you know, and say, I know what you're going through. Right. You know what I mean? So for us as wives, when we see y'all in the midst of y'all storms, we're observing. We're also taking on that extra baggage, but we're observing, but we're covering you in the same process. And that's basically what she's doing. Right. You know, whether she's going, you know, 5 times a week or whether she don't step foot in the door of a church, because that's just the building. Right, right. Her relationship with God is something totally different. You know what I mean? So definitely, you know, I love that she allows you to be who you are, but still know that's my husband. I'm rocking with him. Come at him sideways. I may be saved, but you're gonna catch these hands. You know what I mean? You're gonna catch these hands, right? They said that's good. The quality time, learning how to change tires, fix things. Yes, understand what you're good at. This is good. So we're gonna wrap it up because it's 8 o'clock. We went over, but you know we started a little late, so it was good. I do want to thank Reggie, Chief Tax, Denton for coming through. If y'all see Corinne Keys out there, let him know I'm looking for him. I'm putting it out there. So he's going to have to come on the show on site, or we going to have a problem. Because I was on bed rest and was there Monday on time. Yes, I was there on time and was helping at the door with the good shoes on. Right? Right. I do also want to thank my husband. Also, y'all see him from time to time co-hosting on here, depending on the topics. We do have an awesome guest coming next week, Chef Judy. Judith K is coming on.
Is she bringing food? We eating on the air.
I don't know if she bringing food. I can ask her. I might want to tag her in there.
Put it out there in the air.
Look, you know where we live now, so we can come get you early.
Swing through.
But yeah, I could, you know, I might be asking a little too much, but I'll ask her. But definitely, you know, Chef Judy's going to be covering the topic of the glow up after divorce, because sometimes, you know, I understand, even if we have spiritual backgrounds, you know, when they talk about divorce, but every connection ain't a good connection. And sometimes, you know, your glow up don't come to after you divorce who God didn't have you to be with anyway. So, you know, her glow up has been serious. Serious. Yes. Serious. So I definitely wanted to have her on because, like I said, May is the month of marriage, and I want to hit it from all aspects, you know, of it. So definitely tune in next week. I'll see you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to follow the Women of Essence page as well as Wednesdays with Hayes. Y'all have a blessed evening.